everyone, welcome to another episode of Taboo Marketing, a video blog that exposes the whole truth about marketing. My name is Elmira and this is Delia. We're actually sisters, both marketers, and here on a mission to unmask the most common but yet unspoken realities that marketers face.
So we're in October now, the last quarter of the month, and for many organizations, depending on your fiscal year, that means planning and budgeting for next year. Now, many marketers probably have started their substantial planning sometime in the summer, but now is the time where we take our proposed budgets to the finance team to be approved. Research shows that nearly 2/3 of marketers are having trouble convincing their CFOs that an increased spend in marketing will actually help them grow their business, while 1/3 of CFOs are actually skeptical about marketing demonstrating their previous ROI results. So it's no secret that the conversation between the finance and the marketing team about budget for next year can be difficult and can be quite frustrating, but we got you covered. Having some experience behind our belts managing those challenging conversations, today we're going to share with you 5 typical questions your CFO will ask when addressing the budget for next year.
But before we get into the actual questions, it's worth mentioning that you should never wait for your finance team to schedule a budgeting meeting with you. Because before then, they probably already worked out the numbers and you will have way less chance to get the desired outcome. So without further delay, let's get into it.
Now, this first question might seem like a very obvious one to the more senior marketers, but it might not be so apparent to all. The question being, how did you get to the proposed dollar amount of the budget that you're bringing to your CFO? And it can be a simple 25% or 50% increase from last year. You actually have to be able to demonstrate how your dollar amount actually will be impacting the projected revenue for the upcoming year. So you can either use your ROI metrics from previous years, or at the very least, if you don't have historical data, find some data of industry averages from other companies that can be used in a calculation.
The second question is probably the most dreaded for a lot of us. It's how you measure your marketing attribution. What model and tools do you use? As we mentioned in the beginning of this video, CFOs are usually very skeptical about our ROI data, and they will want to ensure that the data you're presenting is reliable. They're also very well aware of the dotted line between marketing generated versus marketing impacted revenue. So be well prepared to back up your historical data to demonstrate clearly how you're measuring that marketing attribution. And let's be honest, not every organization will have a sophisticated reporting tool. So if your reporting is manual and at times anecdotal, be transparent about it. But do talk about how you're going to improve your reporting infrastructure and get better data and insights.
Now, this third question will require you to do some third-party research, but will definitely equip you to have a stronger argument. Your CFO might want to know how your proposed budget amount stacks up other industry averages, things like marketing spent as a percentage of the entire revenue or the ROI numbers you're using. And the thing is, they might already know the answer to that question and might simply be testing you, but you should definitely have those numbers readily available. So just do some poking around on the internet about the companies in your space, and the closer the company profile, the better. Things like industry, company size, growth percentage, etc.
The next question might make you do some additional work again, but we promise you it's a good one. When presenting your projections and ROI numbers, don't just show your yearly number, as if when marketing gets $100,000 in budget next year, we'll be able to generate $700,000 in revenue. But you have to know that CFOs are actually responsible for a monthly cash flow of the business, money coming in and money coming out. But in reality, we marketers rarely think of cash flow when building our budgets. So what you have to do is to calculate your monthly projections versus your monthly expenditures to demonstrate your monthly ROI numbers, because those surely will vary. Seasonal things like trade shows and events significantly fluctuate month over month. And even planning for a new hire. Are you going to onboard the entire team on January 1st? Probably not. So you need to demonstrate the exact monthly spend so your CFO can successfully manage that cash flow.
And last but not least, your CFO will try to negotiate. and you should definitely do the same. It will be a negotiation and it might be a tough one. Your finance leader might want to ask if there are things on your marketing budget that are nice to have versus must have. And while we always have things in our proposed budget that are nice to have, you shouldn't jump answering that question. Remember, it's a negotiation and anything that you say might be used against you in the future. So instead of listing off things that are nice to have, you might want to reposition the question and indicate that your marketing budget can be reallocated depending on the total amount that you are given. And it's absolutely true. If you're going to be given 50% less of the budget amount that you have proposed, you probably will need to restructure the whole proposed team and probably rejig the marketing working budget with it as well. The point here is to demonstrate the different examples of approaches without listing off those nice to have. Because let's face it, things that are nice to have and they might be treated as such.
So those were our tips on how to successfully manage the budgeting conversation with your CFO. We hope you found them useful and will actually use some of them when preparing for that dreaded conversation. As always, don't forget to subscribe to our channel if you enjoy our videos and find them insightful. Thank you so much for watching again. We hope you're doing well and staying healthy, and we'll see you in our next episode. Bye everyone!
Bye!